It's still at least an hour until sunrise. I'm out in my local village because there are a few locations around here that I wanted to try to shoot while there's some artificial lights on, because I think they might look quite interesting. And the first one is right here behind me. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do, and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. The first scene I'm shooting is down this little lane here. Now it's an interesting exercise in how composition is about excluding things, because just to the left of the scene that I'm shooting there's actually a lot of lights going on because there's a motorway down there, but I'm actually shooting straight down this lane here. There's pockets of light going down and some buildings further down, and I think it's probably going to be quite a contrasty scene. I'm shooting it fairly wide angle. It's probably going to end up as an 8x10 or maybe even a square crop. But I think it's actually the pockets of light and sort of the fact that there's not that much visible in there that actually makes this image hopefully work. I guess we'll see. One of the problems I've got is a street light behind me means I'm casting my own shadow into the scene. So I'm going to set the shot up, press the shutter button on the 2-second timer, and then kind of run back and get out of the shadow, get out of the scene, get my shadow out of the scene rather. Still a good half an hour until sunrise. I'm trying not to talk too loud because although there's quite a lot of stuff going on, I don't really want to be shouting out when I'm standing right by somebody's house. In front of me here is one of the bars in the village, and they've got a load of plant pots kind of scattered all around the front. The bar itself is shut, it won't be open until much later this morning, but I just thought it might make for an interesting image. Because it's got artificial lights on, it's got a sign, which is actually a beer sign on. We've got some quite deep blue sky up there as well. The challenge is the lights are very bright, the scene itself is very dark, so I'm actually going to do 2 exposures on this. One to keep the highlight details and one for the to pull out some shadow detail. That was the other challenge with being out and about in the village or something. We've got traffic moving around, people heading off to work, I guess. And anyway, I just thought it might look quite quite interesting. Compositionally, I've gone for a vertical shot again, because I want to include a little bit of that deep blue sky up above, but also I'm trying to exclude some cars that are parked down the side street. But hopefully it'll work. Just going to rotate left slightly to take that really bright light out on the right hand side of the frame. And I'll be cropping the bottom of the scene out so that manhole cover down here isn't going to be a problem. You know what, I wasn't completely happy with my first shot this morning, this little lane. I think it was just too dark for the image to work. I don't know, it might have done, but I decided as I was walking back up this way to try it again. Now it's got a bit brighter. We're about 20-25 minutes before sunrise, and obviously we're starting to get a lot more ambient light, which means there's not so much contrast with the really bright street lights. So yeah, we're going to shoot it again. I think that's smoke over there. We had several wildfires in the region recently, and there's a complete ban on agricultural burning. So I don't know what that is. Okay, this morning hasn't gone at all like I thought it was going to. First of all, we've had a bit of an issue with the weather forecast because it was supposed to be about 80% low cloud this morning, and we've got no cloud. And some of the scenes that I thought of shooting were really only going to work with some sort of like quite heavy cloud. Secondly, some of the places that I thought would look quite cool with lights on didn't have the lights on. They obviously only put the lights on in the evening. And thirdly, some of the scenes that I thought might look quite good, just when I come to, inspect them a bit closer, they really didn't work out at all. But as the older TV program Mythbusters used to say, failure is always an option. And I guess I may have got one or two images this morning that are okay, I don't know. I've come up onto the motorway bridge for one last slightly desperate attempt to get a final image. The sun's already up quite high in the sky, so I'm not convinced this is going to work at all. But I'm shooting down the curving road that leads down to where the village is, with the sun rising over in the background. Sorry about the motorway noise, I hope you can hear me. I'm going to shoot probably 4 or even 5 exposures of different exposure times, different exposure times, in order to try and capture shadow detail and highlight detail, and then blend them together later. But I've got no idea whether this is going to work or not, but we'll give it a go. Shooting wide angle, it's going to be a 16:9 or maybe even a 2:1 crop if it works at all. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, bye.